Good evening, fellow Wilsonians and honoured guests. It gives me great pleasure to stand before you today to propose Alex Forbes, our fast-aging president, my own brother, son of a drunkard Ian Forbes.
Your pocket money's gone.
Obviously, I've known Alex all my life. Him being the eldest of 4 children from Ian and Jill Forbes, born in Hernhill and schooled at St Saviour's with the notorious Pilgrim Brothers. As you see, the apple never falls far from the tree. Like his father, he's a confident, unorthodox athlete who enjoys a drink. Like his mother, he bowls right arm over off the wrong foot. In terms of physical appearance, he has grey hair and frosts at the mouth at half time whilst giving his team talks like his father. He also has a big arse and saggy tits. I'll let you with the Alex has always been a full participant of the Old Wilsonians since the age of 11, when our slightly drunken father went to an AGM meeting and came back with the prized role of team secretary for both football and cricket club. This basically meant any speaking member of the Forbes family was placed on a rota to make calls on his behalf, with Alex as our shift leader. When our slightly pickled father came home, he would question us like war criminals and ask why we hadn't gotten 5 teams out on a Monday evening. At the time, the irony of him telling us off for not doing our homework thereafter was lost on both him and us. Alex lost his good looks at the age of 3. This craftsmanship was not an isolated instance, and it may come as a shock to our beloved father to hear the following after 13 years.
Oh, God.
The steward did not break the carriage clock.
Thank you.
It was Alex. The 8-foot by 6-foot double glazing window that fell out was not me alone. It was Alex as well. The smashed video recorder, that was Stuart. The fire at our grandmother's house, that was not me. Nor was it Paul Beatty. Nor was it Phil Tattersall. It was, of course, Alex, who has decided to pour paraffin on the fire and then go inside and watch football while the conservatory burnt down. To the right, we had none other than the Old Wilsonians' finest goalkeeping talent, Mr. Clive Pecker. He was renowned for his ability to hit the bench with every drop kick, rather than sitting on it. Mr. Leach should have watched and learned from the great master. Clive was nicknamed the Count due to the high velocity of goals he conceded. He also had a great fear of crosses. He had the unerring knack of predicting the opposition's goal by shouting Clive's ball. It was Clive who was next to learn his lesson from Al, having a drunken conversation one Christmas at the annual Forbes Miracle Christmas drink-up, which many people here attended. The miracle being those who made it home before the new year. Alex mentioned to Clive that he was considering a tour to Oxford, where Clive was studying, to which Clive foolishly replied he'd get a few games in if required. Al made mental note of this. Without contacting Clive again, turned up in Oxford 4 months later with a squad of 8 people demanding that the college release Clive from his studies to greet his touring party. Needless to say, Clive produced 5 great matches and the additional 3 players required for the first Old Wilsonians tour of Oxford. Alec managed to retain the J. Arthur Trophy in 3 consecutive years, thus keeping the trophy. There was never any doubt for most of the years where Al took the top 3 spots. Such faux pas as getting his younger, more handsome brother Stuart to travel 2 hours from Chiswick to the club, only to return to the opponent's ground just yards from his house. look of amusement on Stuart's face as he drifted past his door some 4 hours later. On more than one occasion, he has sent teams to the away ground when scheduled to play at home. He's managed to get 18 players to one fixture. For one tour, he managed to sponsor a gifted, individually motivated player, or GIMP, as they're more commonly known. Yet forgot to tell said individual he had done so. He then proceeded to call his parents at 6 a.m. from the Porter and Salter pub at East Croydon Station and request they release him to his care for a 4-day tour of Poland. So started the tour of shame. He is the only club member to have toured all football and cricket tours. He has played for all teams in both the football and cricket club. That's all 10-11s, vets and superlets.
I ain't seen him in the fish yet.
I've seen him in the nines. In terms of stats, 640 appearances for the football club, with a massive 36 goals in the right end.
How many in the wrong end? Same.
His cricket stats, 3,800 runs, 1 century.
No.
Who was that against?
It was a class side.
I'm not sure whether the dad just put it in or not.
I was there at Hampton, I'm afraid.
110 catches.
Too brutal.
Again, that's 100 too many.
How many goals?
882 wickets, the 4th highest wicket taker in Old Wilsonian's history. And he is, in fact, the top second-level wicket taker with best figures of 9 for 28 as well. Lord knows which first 11 skipper allowed him to put on the much-treasured shirt for that one appearance that he made for the first 11, even if it was in mid-May on a Wednesday evening. An uncompromising centre-back who rarely scores. Perhaps his finest hour came when he was left unguarded and met a cross with an absolute bullet header into an open goal. Al wheeled away with his classic Mickey Shannon windmill celebration, only to find the ball hit him on the back of the head as it cannoned back off the post. In terms of cricket and football, he's responsible for making the seemingly impossible possible. In fact, it drives him to take people to new heights. The football club now have 10-11s at the club, and this is predominantly due to his personal passion and drive to see the club grow. The cricket club has 7 senior sides, 8 this year, and 8 colt sides. We have 150 colt members now, and that is due to Alex, Ian and Tania's Pilgrim, who took it from 0 all the way to where it is today, and it still continues to drive it forward. He coaches every Saturday morning. God knows.
Poor children.
He selflessly drives the 4th 11 with Andy Still and the boys, whilst also helping Stu get the 5th 11 out. There are many successful stories of the Charlie Cox nature, whereby people have been tricked and goaded into playing for 1 week and enjoyed the company of the club so much they've stayed a lifetime. He has stood as chairman, match secretary and captain, but many of the lower sides, well, basically whenever there's a pot trophy to be had, he'll be involved.
Nothing wrong with that.
No wrong with our litmus test.
Exactly.
He has won Club of the Year for both football and cricket player. He's even won Player of the Year.
What?
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Not for
Maybe
football.
it
What
wasn't-
sport?
maybe it wasn't ever.
What sport? Not football.
And of course, he is the only person to have won the J. Arthur Trophy 3 times. He now drives the club forward as our president to take us to new, impossible heights. Gentlemen, please charge your glasses. My honour to you, our president, Alex Fish.
Tommy said if I could or not.